And good morning, everyone. Happy Memorial Day weekend. It is beautiful Sunday here in Ben Lomond, 7:30 a.m. We are tipping off. It is the TSA show. It is your boy JR, and we are doing it again. We are, after seemingly what felt like just remaining stagnant in the opening round of the NBA playoffs. We are now halfway through the conference finals. It's crazy. In fact, we've got 5 games knocked out so far. We're going to get into that in much more today. Don't forget, we're going to talk a little bit WNBA, going to get some player props, going to get some bets out there, talk a little bit on today's TSA Hoop Show. And in case you forgot, we are here just about every Sunday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, live and direct. Man, I hope you guys are having a fabulous weekend, staying safe out there. Some of you are probably already up, ready to go, getting your stuff that you're going to barbecue, getting it all seasoned, getting it all ready, getting the smoker all fired up. I hope you guys have a smoker out there. Smokers are great. Yeah, let's just go ahead and dive right in because yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go just like the rest of you. Man, before we really get into it, just to keep it 100, just a reminder that you know, this is the vibe out here. Everyone watches women's sports. Um, I am in full 100%, 100,000% in support of everything positive that comes out of the media and everything with the WNBA. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and address it right now. You will not hear, unless it's about a basketball thing, disparaging comments that feed into the nastiness of media. And I'm talking about this whole thing surrounding Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This is the one time we'll address it. It's been figured out. We're moving on. And we're actually going to go ahead and start with the WNBA. Don't forget that the WNBA has already tipped off, and some of your favorite players, some of your favorite teams. We'll talk about the Chicago Sky with Angel Reese still starting out slow. Chicago not doing so well. You're getting double-digit rebound performances from a player like Angel Reese. Strong performances throughout the rest of the team. It's just they started out 0-2. Of course, one of those games against the Indiana Fever, who are now 2-1. Caitlin Clark, also after her strong start from the three-point line for her rookie season, actually ran into a team, the Atlanta Dream, that found a way to keep her from scoring a three-pointer. It's the longest streak ever held by a player starting their rookie season. I think it's like 43, 40-something games, which is absolutely insane to be able to continue to go for that long, to just continue to register threes. I mean, the Steph Curry comparisons were absolutely out of this world. For her to not just miss multiple threes, but to miss a three period, a game without a three period is absolutely insane. But her Fever are 2-1 by this point. And although those are the teams that are the big ticket, with the Fever having sold out a lot of their season, just like the Aces did a while ago with Asia Wilson being the big star out there. Um, they're not the teams that we should be talking about as far as the WNBA is concerned. Leading the pack, and we'll be talking about this city a lot end to end, at least throughout the end of this week. The Minnesota Lynx and the Fiza Collier, 4-0. And if you guys had any preseason bets, if you guys want a little lead into whom the league and whom I think has a really, really big shot at getting MVP of the league this season, Nafisa Collier. All right. Look her up. We've been talking about her all last season, talking about her all this season. Lady has been putting up 28, 30, 33. I'm talking about SGA Jokic numbers, okay? Double, darn near triple-double. Leading the Lynx at 4-0 right now. Just ahead, one game ahead, of course, of the defending champs in New York Liberty, whom has an immense amount of talent, not only re-upped for the summer, but um added some great defensive talent. Um and this is going to be crazy. I mean, we're looking at another crash course possibly of some of the same participants in the playoffs this year as we did last year, but with just more scoring. Joe says, "Good morning, sir. Good morning. Talk a little bit of WNBA right now. So just to give a quick rundown of the top six for the WNBA right now. Again, it's Minnesota, New York. You got a little bit of Phoenix in there, who's done a lot of shuffling. We'll have to get more into it as the NBA season draws close and as the WNBA season is in full force and fully in front of us. But falling behind them, the Seattle, baby. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Seattle's got this really interesting story. For those of you that actually followed the WNBA draft, um, they have what some in the media, and I don't want to say it 100% because again, we try not to do men, women comparison type of deal. But they have a player that they just drafted whom they haven't played a lot, but Seattle has basically like the Wembenyama equivalent for the WNBA. So keep an eye out on Seattle because they're 2-1 right now. And again, mentioned in the top six right now, they're right there at number 4. It'll be interesting to see how they and the rest of the league are doing because there's a whole thing going out there by several major key accounts and people talking about this, but there's a trend going right now just not playing rookies right now a lot. But Seattle's one of those teams that drafted pretty decently, re-upped really well, and they're starting out hot. So keep an eye out on Seattle. Right behind them, the Golden State Valkyries, after losing their opening night against the Sparks, have rattled off their next 2. That's a team that is the new expansion team. We mentioned it a little bit on the last show. It's got the city jumping, and that's San Francisco. For those of you that don't know, the city is 100% behind them. They're making the colors look great. They're playing some great basketball. Their first season coach is doing great, and we'll just see exactly how well they do going throughout the rest of the season. Throughout this new extended season, they added, I think it's 2 or 4 more games total for each team. So we're gonna get 44 games this year, which is it's a lot. 80 games, 82 games is a lot for NBA, and especially the way they spread it out. I mean, they're talking about shortening their season, so you can imagine how deep and how long we're going to be going into the summer. Um, with the WNBA, it's going to be crazy. And then last but not least, right behind them, of course, we mentioned it, featuring multi-time MVP, multi-time WNBA champion Asia Wilson. Las Vegas Aces are sitting there also at 2-1, sixth place. And again, the league just breaks down by what place your team is in, the top 12, top 12, top 16. Sorry. Nope, I'll take that back. Top 8 get in. I don't know why I keep forgetting this because their playoffs is absolutely insane. It's completely weird. But the teams that get in, everyone else just other teams just drop out, separated by conference, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But it's early in the season. We got lots of basketball to look at as far as the WNBA, so we'll be getting into them later. But yeah, as far as candidates for MVP right now out there running hot, Nafisa Collier, keep that name in the back of your mind. We're going to be throwing some more names out there as far as DPOY. We're going to take a look at a couple of rookies. I mean, Dallas Wings just had the number 1 overall pick. Picked up Paige Beckers, who is starting out really well in her own right. So, get through this new 44 game season. Hoping that Paige can nab that Rookie of the Year award, but we'll update you guys on that as the season goes along. Now, if your team is 2-0, clap your hands. If your team came to play, clap your hands. Minnesota fans are happy. They know it. We have a guy that really wants to show it. So if your team's still in the playoffs, clap your hands. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you elicit applause without actually being in the room. OKC in Minnesota had their third game yesterday. Game 3 in Minnesota. And after having close starts between Minnesota and Oklahoma City, they started the first games 1 and 2, and then ending in double-digit victories for OKC in OKC for games 1 and 2, and OKC going up 2-0. Game shifts back to Minnesota, and all the things that have happened for Minnesota to get them to beat the teams that they have beat between Golden State and Los Angeles. Yeah, the key players: Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, of course, guys like Naz Reid, and then we have guys that have been sort of having success in the regular season, but they haven't really sniffed the playoffs. The bench just going crazy, everyone hitting their 3-ball. Belt to ass is what Minnesota put on OKC last night, and it's great to have some balance, that this isn't a runaway thing for number 1 overall seed Oklahoma City. It's good to see some challenge. It's good to see some fight, because the main concern was that Minnesota basically used up all of their juice the first 2 rounds. But 100, and and this is not a typo, this game was basically done by halftime. But 143-101, the Minnesota Timberwolves hang one of the largest margins of victory, actually the largest margin of victory against OKC in their entire existence. Again, Oklahoma City has lost some games. They lost in the playoffs. They lost big every now and then, but not that big. The disparity, 42-point loss. Um, the amount of scoring 143 points on OKC, that hasn't happened. It was a historic night, especially coming off of game 2, where accolades have been made by Anthony Edwards, where he passed Kevin Garnett for the most scoring, the highest scoring Minnesota Timberwolves player in Timberwolves history. So there's a lot there. But yeah, you had everything. You had high turnover rate on OKC. They just started out slow. Another game where you you don't get effective play from Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren as often as you would like. In the games 1 and 2, it's interesting where you would think that the play of SGA, him affecting how the calls are being made and him getting fouls and free throws, would overall affect the it would create that disparity for the game. Like, it would keep the Timberwolves from getting going offensively or defensively. That wasn't really the case. Um, I mean, we're gonna shift over to Knicks versus Pacers and talk about the free throw disparity or free throws from that perspective. But what SGA is doing, just scoring uh, internally, was a big difference in games 1 and 2, and then game 3, where he started out hot in those first couple of games. Game 3, he by the third quarter, he had three shots total. Minnesota was putting it on him. Uh, there wasn't there weren't a lot of calls where you could put it up for debate on whether he should have gotten a call for physical contact. The whole series has been physical, and Minnesota played desperate. So shout out to them for bringing the series 2-1. Game 4 for these guys will be in Minnesota, and I believe it is going to be Tuesday. Just gonna double check that right now. But meanwhile, yeah, that game. We put some tickets out there for you guys, just as far as the point spread and who's going to win those games. And so far, we have not been disappointed. Point spread was 7 for both games. Each game was 7 in favor of. Oh no, wait, that was New York. We played it. No, we played it straight up. That's right. We played money line for both games straight up. OKC won both games straight up. Didn't play this game. Minnesota won straight up, but I believe in Minnesota's ability to be consistent. They have strung together 2 games back to back of similar nature, not in volume, but in the opening round against the Lakers and against Golden State. They have been able to put games back to back to be able to win that game. So to wrap all that up and to just kind of throw this out there again, just a little fun bet. We'll go ahead and put up the ticket. We're going to say Minnesota money line for that game. So JC, if you're watching this, if you're popping in, Minnesota money line, there, you got it. Okay. And then on the East Coast, it is 2-0 Indiana. And stop me if you've heard this before, but who are the Pacers? Boy, I swear it's someone from somewhere every single year on a team where it makes no sense of how they're doing what they're doing, minus Boston. Okay. So we were making a comparison, and if you guys can bring up sort of like a list, where we're going to talk about more of it in the off season, but we talked about Peyton Pritchard a lot this year. Aaron Nesmith is now a name that's kind of getting into that category of, who is this guy? Why did we not have a better scouting report on him? Why is he not more in the forefront? And how is it that someone is putting up numbers of this caliber on teams that by all intents and purposes, should have a lot of these guys clocked. Um, Big success has been coming out of this Pacers camp. Um, I think there's a lot to be said about any player not named Siakam or Halliburton being able to put up 15, 20 on a New York team that not only got a really big defender in Mitchell Robinson back, but has been pretty solid defensively over the last few weeks of the regular season. Um, has been getting tougher in the playoffs. Has been able to extend and play deeper a little bit in a couple of games, despite all the minutes restrictions and numbers and things like that that we've been talking about. That Coach Tibbs has been having issues with over the course of the last 2 years. But this Knicks team is supposed to be better than what they've been playing as. And although there was that game one was close, came down to the wire, went to overtime. Game two got the confusing part about game two was the look of the game. For 3 quarters, Knicks had the game in hand. Okay. And both of these games were in New York. Is absolutely surprising, the fact that this New York team was able to let a double-digit lead go again in the time that they did, and the nature of which these games went to overtime. Um, Let me back up. New York's not supposed to be a team that gives up big leads late in the fourth. They have leadership in Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson that have not only playoff experience, but the wherewithal to be able to execute late in the stretch. And a player in Josh Hart that should be able to be yelling at these guys and saying, control the flow of the game, stop jacking up 3-pointers, get a quality bucket so that way we can end this. And in that game two, that is not what happened. And we were then subjected to the player of all players, Tyrese Halliburton, putting up a ridiculous uh, separation shot is what I think the call was. Um, Create separation down in the paint, free throw line extended, jumps out, dashes out to the 3-point line with twinkle toes looking like Fred Flintstone out there. Hits this bananas shot, toe on the line, of course. Shout out to Kevin Durant. Hits this big bucket, sends the media into a frenzy. Then they go on to win their game two in New York. So now the Pacers are up 2-0 with a game today at 10 after 5 Pacific Standard Time. I don't know how to properly explain how bad it is if it takes only 5 minutes for a team like the Knicks to lose a lead that big. Not only do you have to go cold, which the Knicks did, not only do you have to let off the gas, which the Knicks did, but you also have to allow a certain type of quality shot from 2, from 3, however it was executed in such a blistering pace that you basically are saying that you're playing with either one leg or one hand tied behind your back, which is what the Knicks look like. down the stretch. The Pacers, Rick Carlisle has his team playing four-quarter basketball, which is a lot to say. I mean, we talked about availability, we talked about ability, we talked about endurance. We used all the fun hot button words. I think it's a lot to be able to say, oh, don't worry, we still have a final surge in us. And even if it doesn't win it, we still have more energy to go and do some more. This is like, I think that I think unless you, I don't know which mythical creature to compare the Indiana Pacers to. They're either like a Hydra, you know, you take one head down, more come in its place. You take one player out of the game for the Pacers. Like Halliburton has a slow start. Pascal Siakam is coming up. You forget about Pascal Siakam, then Aaron Nesmith is coming up, and you forget about them. I mean, it's always somebody. It's always something. It's absolutely amazing. I think to call him a Hydra offensively, execution wise, is apt, but it's more like a zombie. I mean, we're talking about energy and we're talking about the ability to get through four quarters. Um, unless you find that key spot, that nice little niche right above the it's like right where the Adam's apple is at. You just get that nice little spot right under the cranium. Unless you take that team out on that part, this is a body that's just going to keep going and keep coming at you until they're done with you. And that's what the Pacers have done so far. So again, money line today. I want to say Knicks today. I want to say Knicks get their get back, but the spread right now is 2 in Indiana. That's crazy to say, but it's 2. Knicks are plus 100 right now. So while the money says, bet Knicks, Knicks are rightfully the underdog. Why are they not even more of an underdog at this point? I mean, yeah, Pascal Siakam had a monster game, but he's been playing really well. His championship DNA and the caliber of which he brings to this team, paired with the experience and the championship pedigree of Rick Carlisle at the helm, has been having this team. It probably won't matter what Pascal does. It probably won't matter what Halliburton does at this point if they can hit from so many angles. Uh, being only favored by 2, it seems a little fishy, but it I I could see because these games have been so close before. So you can either bet the spread or bet money line. It's really not going to matter at this point. Again, the line could change. What up, coach? Yes. Carlisle goated. For sure. Multiple teams, multiple victories. But again, very fun thing to do today. Talk about some player props. We're just gonna go ahead and skip forward and talk about that because it's probably more of a focus for a lot of you folks just to enjoy the holiday weekend. So we hope that you guys do enjoy that. But just to break down a couple of things that we're looking at today. Again, had let's go ahead and bring it up here. And again, appreciate you guys for tuning in today. If you guys listen to this later on YouTube or watch this later on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up or subscribe button for the TSA channel. So that way we can keep you guys tuned in with all the latest fantasy and sports updates and giving our thoughts and love on that and everything involved as well. Also, if you decide to listen to us in the future on Spotify, you can find us on Spotify. TSA Hoop Show with JR. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay. Uh the line just changed. Knicks now favored by only 1.5. Might as well play the money line. Jalen Brunson. We talked about the other side of the ball as far as fouls are concerned and free throws are concerned. Would be fun to bet his free throws to see if he gets at least 8. I don't, but it's not going to happen. But line right now for his points is 32. They're going to need a monster game from him. 31 and a half. I don't think that they get it from Brunson. That'd be more of a game 4 type of thing, especially if someone like Karl Anthony Towns, who I think is going to have a big game today, even though he's featured at 21 and a half. I think we're still going to get a monster game at a Karl Anthony Towns. It's probably going to take a lot. It's probably going to be late. Indiana's been beating him up there in the middle. He hasn't been sluggish in scoring, Karl Anthony Towns. It's just that the shots have not been as consistent in coming together. They've been making it hard on them. The Pacers have been making it hard on Cat, and it's what you like to see. You want to see the big stars struggle because Larry O'Brien is a coveted piece of equipment, and it should not be taken lightly. And you should have some struggle in order to get to it, especially for both of these teams are playing for the players involved. It's going to be their first ones. The Knicks have been to the Mecca before. Clyde Frazier team won it. I think it was 77, 73 that they won that. Trying to get back there and win that so that way their Knicks can be enshrined and be put up there. Pacers, on the other hand, Indiana's supposed to be Indiana's where basketball was invented, so they're trying to bring something back to them, trying to get the city excited about more than just the fever. So they're up. Pacers are up 2-0. I think the game today is going to be electric. If you guys haven't been tuning in, if you guys don't like blowouts like you've been seeing for the first 3 games in the Western Conference, tune into this Eastern Conference game today. Again, it's at 5:10 Pacific Standard Time. That's all we really have to talk about today. Leaving this wide open for the next 5 to 10 minutes while I go off on a tangent, just to let you guys know that we may be streaming and sending you for tip off of the NBA Finals live from Las Vegas. Okay, we're setting that up. We're figuring that out so that way we can give you guys all the fun things that we're going to be doing out there. I don't know if you guys remember late in the year. Well, actually, was that earlier this year that we did a show? We sent you guys some experience, some fun, and some bets that we did live from Las Vegas earlier on. We're going to do some of that again. Hopefully, going to bring some friends on the show. Going to make this a little bit more exciting, a little bit more involved. But stay tuned. Keep an eye out because your boy's heading to Vegas in 2 weeks, and hoping that we can get something set up so that way we can give you guys the full experience out there. And as far as futures are concerned, it's looking a little bit like, if we're going to make a prediction right now, I'm predicting OKC, Indiana. 2 markets, 2 mid-major markets, some of the smaller markets that really deserve to be highlighted. And right now, it's actually kind of fun because there are 3 small market teams versus 1 major market in New York, and New York is crap in the bed right now. It would be really good for the NBA if they could get a spotlight on some markets that aren't coastal. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. I think we could really use a breath of fresh air for some change up. Just to add a little bit of flavor, just to say that anyone can win if they play a certain way. It would bring a huge highlight to the rule changes and everything, and it would make the offseason that much more important if either Minnesota or OKC wins it. And I say that because of how both of those teams were built slowly but surely, and why patience would be paid off, and opportunity had presented itself. And talking about just the major reasons why you don't have guys like Kevin Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry, so on and so forth, Giannis, so on and so forth in these playoffs. And I think it's great because we're getting a much better quality basketball, much more better quality games. I believe if you ended up paying some sort of league pass or you're tuned into your local streaming networks to be able to tune into these games, I think you're getting your money's worth now. Get your money's worth today. Get your barbecue going, get the cure going, get them wings on, whatever you decide to put on. We're gonna be doing some skirt steak out here. And maybe we'll post up some pictures just for fun out there. But as you guys go into the day to day, make sure that you tune into that game either by radio, which has been absolutely amazing to listen to, or you tune in live and direct on your local channels and watch this game. And shoot, you know what? Forgot. I'm going to give you guys two players to watch today. Two players you're going to want to watch today. Karl Anthony Towns over in New York. Again, I think that we haven't mentioned this enough, but the big man has been absolutely important. Not just Karl Anthony Towns, but I mean the position, the 4 and 5 position offensively and defensively. What has been done on the interior with teams being able to switch from, there's not a lot of man being played. There's been a lot of zone that have been played by all 4 teams this playoffs, and the ability for players to get to score internally, to get into the heart of some of these defenses and to be able to execute and score. The difference in between the consistency in scoring from the opposing team and employing these defenses has been the ability for the big men to defend the paint and stay out of foul trouble. And you saw that missing from OKC in game 3. You see that missing right now in New York. And Karl Anthony Towns, I think, would be a huge lightning rod if he had a big game today, game 3. So he's one to watch. The other player to watch, I haven't talked about him enough, but TJ McConnell over on the Pacers. That's the other player that I'm talking about watching. You guys, when you talk about a player that can come up clutch in moments when needed during down offensive droughts, that's a player to watch. Give him a couple 3 balls. Let's see. But we'll see how this pans out today. And again, taking New York money line today. So we'll post a ticket. We'll show you guys what's up, see how that goes. And that's fun. And if it's nothing else, you guys, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday weekend. Be safe out there. Drink lots of water. It is heating up. It's heating up everywhere. Stay hydrated. I'm gonna go get hydrated right now and get some coffee in me. You guys enjoy this beautiful day. We're out of here. Peace.